Hello, and welcome to our channel. This is a place where motivation meets action, and every video is designed to inspire you to chase your dreams and embrace your fullest potential. We're here to ignite your passion, fuel your drive, and remind you that anything is possible. Join us by subscribing and let's walk this journey of growth and success together. Imagine unlocking a level of skill and creativity that feels almost magical, where your instincts and knowledge merge seamlessly, and every challenge becomes an opportunity for innovation. That's the Promise of Mastery by Robert Greene, a book that takes us on a transformative journey through the lives of history's greatest minds. From the deliberate practice of the apprenticeship phase to the awe-inspiring fusion of intuition and rationality, Greene reveals the timeless principles that elevate ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. If you're ready to embrace your potential, conquer challenges, and create something remarkable, take your time to listen to this video and discover how mastery can change your life. Chapter 1. Discover Your Calling, the Life's Task. Let's take a step back and reflect. What does Chapter 1 of Mastery really teach us? To me, it's about falling in love with the process. It's about seeing our journey not as a series of obstacles but as a masterpiece in progress. And like any masterpiece, it starts with a single stroke. Think about Charles Darwin again. Here was someone who wasn't extraordinary by traditional standards. He wasn't hailed as a genius in his youth, but he had something more valuable: curiosity. Greene challenges us to embrace our curiosity, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant it might feel. Because curiosity is the spark that ignites mastery. Greene's portrayal of the apprenticeship phase is particularly powerful. It's easy to look at successful people and assume they've always been at the top. But every master was once an apprentice. They too fumbled, doubted themselves, and faced failure. And yet, they persisted. The beauty of this phase is that it's universal. Whether you're learning to write, code, cook, or lead, the process is the same. And there's comfort in knowing we're not alone on this journey. One of the most inspiring lessons from this chapter is the idea that resistance is natural. Greene acknowledges that we'll face moments of doubt, boredom, and frustration. But instead of running from these feelings, he urges us to lean into them. Resistance isn't a sign that we're on the wrong path. It's proof that we're growing. It's a shift in perspective that can transform how we approach challenges. The next time you're tempted to quit, remember, resistance is part of the process. The role of mentors in our journey is another golden thread in Chapter 1. A mentor isn't there to hand us answers but to guide us toward our own. It's a relationship built on mutual respect, challenge, and growth. Greene's insight here is profound. The right mentor can accelerate our journey, but they can't walk the path for us. That's our job. And while finding a mentor might seem daunting, Greene's stories remind us that they're often closer than we think. Sometimes they're a teacher, a colleague, or even an author whose work inspires us. Perhaps the most uplifting takeaway from Chapter 1 is the realization that mastery isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey. And in that journey, every step matters. It's not about achieving perfection but about embracing progress. Greene's words encourage us to see the value in our daily efforts. Each practice session, each experiment, and each failure is a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives. So, what does all this mean for us? It means that wherever we are, whether we're just starting out or well into our careers, we have the power to shape our path. It's not about waiting for the right moment or the perfect opportunity. It's about showing up day after day and committing to the process. It's about trusting that every small effort will add up to something extraordinary. As we close this reflection, let's carry forward Greene's invitation to embrace the journey. Let's approach our craft with curiosity, persistence, and a sense of wonder. Because as Chapter 1 of Mastery so beautifully reminds us, the path to mastery is not just about what we achieve, it's about who we become along the way. Chapter 2. Submit to Reality. The Ideal Apprenticeship. What does it mean to truly submit to reality? Greene's exploration of the apprenticeship phase challenges us to rethink how we approach learning and growth. For me, the biggest takeaway from Chapter 2 is this. Mastery begins with surrender. Not surrender in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of letting go of our ego and embracing the role of a student. Think about Benjamin Franklin. Imagine him as a young apprentice waking up early to print newspapers and clean ink-stained presses. There were no shortcuts, no instant gratification. He wasn't born a genius, he became one through deliberate effort and observation. Greene reminds us that Franklin's story isn't unique. It's a blueprint that any of us can follow. We all start somewhere, and our willingness to commit to the process is what sets us apart. One of the most inspiring ideas in this chapter is the power of humility. Greene describes humility not as weakness but as strength. When we admit that we don't know everything, we open ourselves up to learning. We become sponges, soaking up knowledge and experience. This humility is what allows us to grow, to push past our limitations and to reach new heights. It's a perspective shift that can transform how we approach our craft. Another takeaway from this chapter is the value of patience. In a world that moves at lightning speed, it's easy to feel frustrated when progress is slow. But Greene reminds us that mastery isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The apprenticeship phase is long and often tedious, but it's where the magic happens. It's where we lay the foundation for everything that comes next. Greene's words encourage us to see the beauty in the grind, to find joy in the process of becoming. Adaptability is another key theme that resonates deeply. Greene's advice to be flexible, to observe and adjust, is a reminder that rigidity is the enemy of growth. The best learners are those who stay curious, who welcome change, and who see every challenge as an opportunity to learn. This mindset is not only empowering but also practical. It's a skill that can be applied in any field, at any stage of life. Finally, the emphasis on observation is profoundly inspiring. Greene's call to approach life like a detective, to notice the small details, to watch and learn from those around us, feels both empowering and achievable. Observation costs nothing, but its rewards are immense. It's a habit that can elevate us from being passive participants to active learners in every situation. So what does all of this mean for us? It means that wherever we are in our journey, there's value in embracing the apprenticeship phase. It's a time to learn, to grow, and to lay the groundwork for the future. It's not about rushing to the finish line but about savoring each step along the way. Greene's words encourage us to see every challenge as a stepping stone and every failure as a lesson. As we reflect on Chapter 2, let's carry forward this mindset of humility, patience, and adaptability. Let's approach our craft with a sense of wonder and curiosity. Because, as Greene reminds us, the path to mastery is not just about achieving greatness, it's about becoming the best version of ourselves along the way. Chapter 3. Absorb the Master's Power, the Mentor Dynamic. What can we learn from Chapter 3 of Mastery? For me, the takeaway is clear. Mentorship is not just a relationship, it's a catalyst for growth. And the beauty of this dynamic lies in its reciprocity. Both mentor and mentee are transformed by the process, each gaining something invaluable from the exchange. Let's revisit Michael Faraday's story. Imagine him as a young apprentice diligently watching Humphrey Davy, absorbing his brilliance, and quietly noting his shortcomings. Faraday didn't stop at imitation. He used what he learned as a springboard to innovate and create. Greene's portrayal of Faraday's journey reminds us that the goal of mentorship isn't replication, but evolution. We're not meant to become carbon copies of our mentors, we're meant to use their guidance as a foundation for our own unique contributions. One of the most inspiring lessons in this chapter is the idea that mentorship is everywhere if we're willing to look for it. A mentor doesn't have to be a formal figure in our lives. They can be an author whose work resonates with us, a colleague who challenges us to think differently, or even an experience that forces us to grow. This perspective is liberating. It reminds us that even if we don't have a traditional mentor, we're never without guidance. Greene's insights into the qualities of a great mentor are also deeply motivating. He encourages us to seek mentors who push us beyond our comfort zones, who challenge us to question our assumptions, and who inspire us to aim higher. This is a powerful reminder that growth often comes from discomfort. The best mentors don't coddle us, they push us to rise to the occasion. And when we're willing to embrace this challenge, we unlock new levels of potential. Perhaps the most profound takeaway from this chapter is the idea of timing. Greene's advice to know when to move on from a mentor is both practical and empowering. Staying in the shadow of a mentor for too long can hinder our growth. At some point we must step out on our own, armed with the knowledge and confidence they've helped us build. This transition isn't a rejection of the mentor's influence, but a celebration of it. It's a moment of transformation, where we take the lessons we've learned and begin to carve our own path. So what does this mean for us? It means that wherever we are on our journey, we have the power to seek out mentorship and make the most of it. Whether we're just starting out or deep into our craft, there's always something to learn from those who've gone before us. And when the time comes to step out on our own, we can do so with the confidence that we've been shaped by the best. As we reflect on Chapter 3, let's carry forward Greene's invitation to embrace the mentor dynamic. Let's approach our mentors, whether they're people, books, or experiences, with humility, curiosity, and a willingness to grow. Because as Greene so beautifully illustrates, mentorship isn't just about learning from others, it's about discovering who we're meant to become. Chapter 4. See people as they are. Social intelligence. Inspiration takeaway from Chapter 4. What does it mean to truly see people as they are? For me, Chapter 4 of Mastery is a wake-up call to the power of social intelligence. It's a reminder that no matter how skilled or knowledgeable we are, our ability to connect with others is what ultimately determines our success. One of the most inspiring lessons in this chapter is the idea of observation as a superpower. Greene's emphasis on paying attention to subtle cues, a raised eyebrow, a hesitation in speech, a shift in body language, feels like an invitation to become a detective in our own lives. When we take the time to observe without judgment, we gain insights that can transform our relationships and interactions. This practice not only makes us more effective communicators, but also helps us build trust and credibility. Another powerful takeaway is the importance of empathy. Greene's perspective on empathy isn't about losing ourselves in other people's emotions, but about understanding their perspective. This approach resonates deeply because it's both practical and empowering. When we understand what drives others, their fears, desires, and motivations, we can communicate in a way that resonates and inspires. Empathy becomes a tool for collaboration and problem-solving, a bridge that connects us in meaningful ways. Greene's advice on managing difficult personalities is equally inspiring. How often do we let toxic relationships drain our energy or derail our progress? Greene's strategies for navigating these dynamics feel like a shield of armor, empowering us to protect our boundaries and maintain focus. The idea that we can choose how we respond to negativity, and even use it to our advantage, is both liberating and motivating. But perhaps the most profound takeaway from Chapter 4 is the importance of authenticity. Greene's call to see people as they truly are challenges us to let go of preconceived notions and emotional projections. This shift in mindset is transformative. It allows us to approach relationships with clarity and authenticity, fostering connections that are rooted in mutual understanding rather than illusion. This isn't just a recipe for professional success, it's a guide for living a richer, more connected life. As we reflect on Chapter 4, let's take Greene's lessons to heart. Let's commit to sharpening our social intelligence, to observing without judgment, and to approaching relationships with empathy and authenticity. Because mastery isn't just about what we do, it's about how we interact with the world and the people in it. And when we learn to navigate these dynamics with skill and grace, we unlock a level of potential that goes far beyond what we thought was possible. Chapter 5. Awaken the Dimensional Mind, the Creative Active. Inspiration takeaway from Chapter 5. Chapter 5 of Mastery is a call to action for anyone yearning to unlock their creative potential. It's a reminder that creativity isn't reserved for artists or inventors. It's a fundamental aspect of mastery, a process that's accessible to all of us, if we're willing to embrace it. One of the most inspiring lessons from this chapter is the idea of dimensional thinking. Greene's advice to look beyond the obvious and approach problems from multiple angles feels like a superpower waiting to be tapped. Imagine facing a challenge not with a single solution in mind, but with a toolbox of perspectives and ideas. This approach not only fosters innovation but also empowers us to navigate complexity with confidence. Greene's emphasis on intuition is another profound takeaway. Too often we're taught to rely solely on logic and analysis, dismissing intuition as unreliable. But Chapter 5 reframes intuition as the culmination of experience and immersion. It's a skill we can develop by dedicating ourselves to our craft, observing patterns, and trusting our instincts. This perspective is liberating, encouraging us to balance logic with gut feelings in our decision-making. The stories of pioneers like Mozart are a reminder that creativity isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Greene's description of the creative active phase as messy and unpredictable resonates deeply. How often do we abandon projects or ideas because they don't come together smoothly? This chapter encourages us to embrace the mess, to see failure as a stepping stone rather than a dead end. It's a perspective that transforms setbacks into opportunities for growth. Perhaps the most empowering takeaway from Chapter 5 is Greene's assertion that creativity is a habit, not a gift. It's something we cultivate through deliberate effort, curiosity, and an openness to experimentation. This mindset is transformative. It shifts creativity from something elusive to something attainable, reminding us that innovation is within our reach if we're willing to put in the work. As we reflect on Chapter 5, let's carry forward Greene's invitation to awaken the dimensional mind. Let's challenge ourselves to think differently, to take risks, and to see creativity as a journey rather than a destination. Because mastery isn't just about achieving excellence, it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible and discovering the extraordinary potential within us all. Chapter 6. Fuse the intuitive with the rational mastery. Inspiration takeaway from Chapter 6. What does it mean to truly master a craft? Chapter 6 of Mastery offers an answer that is as inspiring as it is profound. Greene's description of the final stage of mastery, where intuition and rationality merge into a seamless flow, feels like an invitation to transcend the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. One of the most powerful lessons from this chapter is the idea of the reversal of learning. Greene's explanation that mastery transforms deliberate effort into instinctive action is both reassuring and motivating. It reminds us that the hours we spend practicing, experimenting, and refining our skills aren't just about getting better. They're about building a foundation for intuitive brilliance. This perspective is a powerful antidote to the frustration that often accompanies the learning process, encouraging us to stay committed even when progress feels slow. The stories of masters like Bruce Lee and Albert Einstein are deeply inspiring. They show us that mastery isn't about adhering to rigid formulas. It's about pushing boundaries, taking risks, and trusting our unique vision. These narratives challenge us to think differently, to embrace creativity alongside discipline, and to see challenges as opportunities for innovation. They remind us that mastery isn't a destination, it's a journey of continual growth and discovery. Another inspiring takeaway from this chapter is Greene's emphasis on the beginner's mindset. Even at the peak of expertise, staying open to new ideas and experiences is essential. This mindset fosters humility, curiosity, and resilience, enabling us to keep evolving and adapting. It's a reminder that true mastery isn't about perfection. It's about the willingness to keep learning. Greene's practical advice for cultivating the fusion of intuition and rationality is equally empowering. His call to immerse ourselves fully in our work, to reflect deeply, and to approach challenges with creativity and persistence feels like a blueprint for success. It's a reminder that mastery isn't about shortcuts or quick wins. It's about dedication, passion, and the courage to pursue excellence. As we reflect on Chapter 6, let's take Greene's lessons to heart. Let's commit to the long and often challenging journey of mastery, knowing that the rewards are worth the effort. Let's embrace the fusion of intuition and rationality, trusting that our hard work and dedication will lead to moments of brilliance. And let's remember that mastery isn't just about what we achieve, it's about who we become in the process. Summary: The Journey of Mastery by Robert Greene. Robert Greene's Mastery is more than a guidebook. It's a profound exploration of human potential. In its pages, Greene weaves history, psychology, and practical wisdom to offer a roadmap for anyone striving to reach their fullest capabilities. The book reveals that mastery isn't a gift reserved for the lucky few, but a universal potential waiting to be unlocked through dedication, learning, and perseverance. At its core, mastery challenges the notion of overnight success. Greene reminds us that greatness is not the result of talent alone but the culmination of deliberate practice, curiosity, and a willingness to embrace challenges. Through the stories of historical and contemporary masters, he paints a vivid picture of what it takes to excel in any field, whether it's science, art, or business. This overarching message serves as a powerful call to action. Mastery is a journey, and it's a journey worth taking. The apprenticeship phase, the foundation of mastery. Greene introduces us to the importance of the apprenticeship phase, a period of intense learning and growth. This stage is where we lay the groundwork for expertise by absorbing knowledge, observing others, and developing fundamental skills. Greene emphasizes that this phase requires humility and patience. It's a time to listen more than we speak, to observe and absorb rather than impose our ideas prematurely. The key takeaway here is the value of being a lifelong student. Mastery begins with the willingness to start at the bottom and learn from those who came before us. The stories of great figures like Benjamin Franklin and Leonardo da Vinci remind us that even the greatest minds started as novices, diligently studying their craft and learning from their mistakes. This lesson encourages us to embrace the discomfort of being a beginner, knowing it's the first step toward greatness. Embracing challenges and adapting. Greene's exploration of mastery also highlights the importance of resilience and adaptability. Challenges and failures are inevitable, but they are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. He recounts the stories of individuals who faced immense obstacles but used them as opportunities for growth. For example, Thomas Edison's persistence in the face of failure demonstrates how grit and determination can turn setbacks into breakthroughs. This lesson is a reminder to us all: mastery is not a smooth road, it's filled with twists, turns, and dead ends. But each challenge presents a chance to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Greene encourages us to shift our perspective, viewing difficulties as essential parts of the journey rather than deterrents. The power of mentorship. One of the book's most inspiring insights is the transformative power of mentorship. Greene underscores the importance of finding mentors who can guide us, challenge us, and accelerate our learning. Through examples like the relationship between Charles Darwin and his mentor, John Stevens Henslow, Greene illustrates how mentorship can shape our paths and open doors to new opportunities. This lesson speaks to the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who inspire and challenge us. Mentors provide more than just technical knowledge, they offer wisdom, perspective, and encouragement. Greene's advice reminds us to seek out those who can push us beyond our comfort zones and help us grow into our potential. Awakening creativity, the creative active phase. As we progress on the path to mastery, Greene introduces the concept of the creative active phase, where we begin to integrate knowledge and innovate. This phase is where intuition and rationality merge, and we start to think independently. The stories of creative pioneers like Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Albert Einstein show how innovation emerges from a foundation of deep knowledge and relentless curiosity. The key takeaway here is the importance of combining structure with freedom. Mastery isn't just about following rules, it's about breaking them in meaningful ways. Greene inspires us to experiment, to think beyond the boundaries of convention, and to bring our unique vision to life. Mastery, a lifelong journey. Finally, Greene leaves us with the understanding that mastery is not a fixed destination, but an ongoing process. Even the most accomplished individuals continue to learn, grow, and refine their craft. He encourages us to maintain a beginner's mindset, staying curious and open to new possibilities. This perspective is both humbling and empowering. It reminds us that mastery is not about perfection, but about the pursuit of excellence. It's about dedicating ourselves to continuous improvement and striving to leave a meaningful impact in our chosen field. The universal lessons of mastery. The beauty of mastery lies in its universality. Greene's lessons apply to every aspect of life, from professional pursuits to personal growth. Whether we're artists, scientists, entrepreneurs, or educators, the principles of mastery can guide us toward fulfilling our potential. The book's message is clear: mastery is within reach for anyone willing to commit to the journey. It's not about shortcuts or quick fixes, it's about showing up every day, embracing the process, and pushing ourselves to grow. Greene's words inspire us to take ownership of our paths, to seek out knowledge, and to persevere through challenges. As we close the final chapter of mastery, we're left with a profound sense of possibility. The journey to mastery is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It's a journey of self-discovery, creativity, and transformation, one that invites us to unlock our true potential and make our mark on the world. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video and it brought value to your day, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need it too. And if you want to be part of this journey with us, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we share more content. Together, let's grow, learn, and inspire. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our video. Your support means the world to us. We hope it brought value to your day, and we can't wait to share more with you. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and we'll see you in the next one.